Hello, I'm Osei Emmanuel JB, your host on the Political Headquarters Show. You are all welcome to this insightful political journey as we take you through. We are joined by one of the aspiring leaders for the new presidential office. We want to interview him to know more about him so that your voice will be heard in the day of election. So let's welcome our brother NK as he tell us more about himself on this journey. You are welcome.
Thank you.
Please, can you tell us more about yourself, just in few sentences?
Hi. So I'm Nana Kofi Ampong, a fifth-year Doctor of Medical Laboratory Science student of this university. I believe I'm an easygoing, driven, and motivated individual. And right now, I have set myself on the quest of becoming the next president. Thank you very much. That's about it.
So, what inspired you to go for this kind of office? There are other offices, but why NUPS?
Well, what inspired me to go for a student leadership or representative position in general, I believe it's just my simple desire to have an impact in whatever community I find myself in. And looking at UDS, I thought it was, I didn't see any better way to have an impact than through the most overlooked yet vital component of our SRC, which is the NUCs. So that is why I decided to have my impact on UDS through the NUCs.
Okay. You said overlooked by volatile. Can you expand it? We want to understand it. The aspect of the SRC, you said the news has been overlooked, but it's volatile. So how vital is it to you, and how is it overlooked?
Well, just in my daily rounds, as I've already started, if I'm not wrong, I'd say about 9 out of 10 people I meet, when I ask them what's basic, something simple, like what does the news do? They can't tell me. They just know that, okay, the news is separate from the SRC. They know that the news is separate from the SRC. But they can't even elicit like one basic function of the news. So in just that simple way, I clearly can tell that the news is overlooked. But yet, it is quite vital in our student politics and in our daily activities, as is according to our own constitution. It's the body that manages the external affairs of the SRC. And it's the body that gives representation to the school out there. So if a body like this is not really being paid attention to by its own students, how then can we look forward to greater things for UDS out there?
Yeah. Have you been in any leadership in your journey, from senior high school, junior high school?
So, okay, I don't think there were any leadership positions available in my basic school, primary school. I actually attended 2 basic schools, one in Kumasi, KNUST Basic. Then when I went to Accra, I attended SAPS. I don't think they weren't in. But in my JHS, I attended SAP school at Tishi in Accra. I was a compound prefect. I don't think it wasn't a voting. I wasn't elected. I was more of an appointment. I think the only positions that were voted for back then were the school prefect, but I was appointed. So yeah, I had my impact through that. Then in senior high school, I was the dining hall prefect. Yeah, that's an elected position. Yeah. And over here too, currently I'm the deputy organizing committee chair for MELSA. And I'm also the General Assembly representative at the SRC Student Representative Council General Assembly for SARS Year 5. Yeah, so that's about a summary of my more relevant leadership positions.
All right, thank you. Communication is key. How are you going to take feedbacks from students in order to work well with the notes? What are some of the strategies you intend to put in place?
Well, currently I believe I'm ubiquitous, like I'm everywhere, and I'd like to believe even after I'm in office, like I'd still be like that everywhere by meaning like in person and online. I'm trying to be everywhere because you have to be everywhere if you are vying for a student political position. So I believe I'll continue to be everywhere once I'm by God's grace I'm elected into office. Am I implicating myself for saying that? No, okay. Yeah, I'll continue to be everywhere. So through that, generally, maybe online, through student polls, organized in various groups, or through Google Forms, in person too, just by meeting people. Because again, during my daily rounds, I actually ask students or some students some questions, and I get a lot of feedback from them, issues they are facing. They are even helping me shape my policies as we speak. So yeah, I'll continue to do that. And also yeah, consult dignitaries on campus and outside campus too. Yeah, about issues.
The political issues on campus. How do you think students involved in the issue of politics, let me put it, when it talks about politics, does the students involve themselves?
I think there's a kind of, I don't know which word to use, the kind of laissez-faire attitude towards student politics, where like due to past experiences, most students kind of do not care about what happens in the UDS political scene, and they also don't believe the systems work. Also, they don't believe, generally, like again, speaking to people, they don't. They're like, sorry to say, oh bad then I'll be like in Chi. Like, well, we've heard it all before. Like you go to people and they don't even want to listen to you, and you might think, okay, maybe it's just a small portion of the student populace, but it's actually quite a good number of students. So I really don't think it's sad though that students, but it's not their fault. It's not their fault. Well, they just don't believe the system works, or maybe they are not educated enough on how to make sure the system works. Because the students are also supposed to be involved for the systems to work. You don't just sit back and see the systems don't work. Meanwhile, you haven't really taken any initiative. That's why I really applaud you guys on the initiative you are taking, trying to make sure the political scene is more active, more people get to know about UDS politics, not just about the personalities, but also about the facts involved. So this is quite a good initiative which can help curb that pandemic, in my opinion. But yeah, generally, I don't think students are that active in our affairs, in political affairs on campus.
So, how can you, or in which way can you encourage the students to engage in student politics? One way, or any plan you have in order for students to engage in student politics?
Yeah, primarily I think sorry, it's about education. Maybe we should do our best. Well, again, that job will also fall again on the student leaders. So yeah, student leaders should actually go out of their way to ensure the general student populace is educated on not just the constitution but the general happenings. Like there should be more transparency and more an easy flow of communication from the top, not just from student leaders but also from the administration, since students leaders are the ones meeting people at the top. there should be easy flow of information and more transparency. Yeah. So education and transparency, I believe, are the key ways to get more students involved in politics.
Okay, assuming you are voted to be the news president, the next news president, within 24 hours, which of your policies will you implement and why?
Okay. Which one? Well, I have one in mind. It's not necessarily my topmost policy or whatever, but the one I share more sentiments with. During one of my rounds, I met a lady. Initially, she didn't even want to talk to me because again, over then I'll be like, we've heard it all before. I don't come to do anything different. She was telling me, so she was sitting with her friend. They didn't really want to listen initially. Then I just kept on pestering them. You know how politicians are, they just worry. And they eventually listened to what I had to say. And she was sharing the challenge she faced. She said she had a learning difficulty. She didn't really clearly state it, but she described it. She had a learning difficulty and she felt she had been quite overlooked. She's in final year, she's not even in first year, so imagine. But she felt she had been quite overlooked throughout her stay on campus. She was currently working on a project and said, I don't know, her department really isn't, they don't take into consideration that when during the whole learning process, maybe during lecturing, during examination, some people with learning difficulties, they should be given some special attention. You understand? Like maybe people with, say, ADHD or ADD or any other auditory impairments or something. Maybe special treatment during exams, maybe giving more time, things like that. But she said, well, she hadn't experienced anything like that, and now she's graduating, and well, she's not so happy with her results. But well, what can she do? That's the system she finds herself in. So I think within 24 hours, I think I'll put in place measures to make sure individuals with learning disabilities are not disadvantaged in the general learning process. Yeah.
All right. So, what will you tell the student populace as you are about to go for this office? What will you tell them? What education are you going to give them concerning student politics and what they should do?
Okay, so I'll just ask them not to be too complacent and not to be too downhearted because of past experiences. No shade to past leaderships, but to continue to push and be active and to try as much as possible to generally not be complacent and downhearted, and that they should still believe the systems can work and will work if the right people are elected into office. So they shouldn't give up.
Okay. So, people have seen you, have friends, those who support you. What do you want to tell them? Your fans.
I wouldn't necessarily call them fans, but so.
Okay, your supporters.
Yes. I just tell them that I wouldn't let them down, and that once I've started, I'll finish well. Like I'm the one we are together, and with God's blessing, there's no way for us to lose really. That we'll come out on top in the end. And that we are also bringing the heat. They should watch out. Right, thank you.
So, viewers, we interview our brother Nana Kofi on this episode. I'm very grateful that you joined to watch. See you next time. Stay tuned. This is the Political Headquarters Show.